and you'll die.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Jack by DFS. Huge slate today. 11 gamer. Nuts, man. How many games is on this slate today? But nonetheless, we're going to break it down and try to look at places to get to today. If you guys are first time to the channel, my name is Doug, obviously with Jack by DFS, name of the channel. If you guys are coming back for a new vid, welcome back, guys. Hit that like button for me. If you guys are new to the channel, obviously hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell identification icon to see as we put out new videos for daily content. Use a nifty little tool called Draft Dashboard. Obviously, we use this to build player pools each and every day. It gives us projections, points projections, gives us team totals, gives us ownership, etc. Defensive matchups for the positions that we're going for, etc. As well allows you to build up to 10 to 150 lineups that you can export over to Draftkings or FanDuel. You can try all that and more for this Draft Dashboard tool. You can try that for 30 days for only $1. It's going to beat any deal out there for only $1. You can try this for 30 days in the link in the description of the video. Just go down there, click that link, and get yourself signed up for only $1 for 30 days. Moving on to the slate, guys. It's a big one today. A lot of games on the slate. A lot of different ways you can go. Obviously, point out team totals. Obviously, we're going to have Charlotte, Atlanta has a big total, like 233. That Washington 76ers games has a nice total on it today. I want to say the Bulls game has a nice total on it today. So different ways you can go today. I do not like James Harden or John Wall today. They have some guys as well that's questionable for today. I do think you can save some salary there if you don't. I mean, James Harden's always a hard fade, but with him being $11,000, I mean, for me, I think Indiana is a tough defensive team to go up a matchup against, and obviously seeing that they are third versus opposing point guards. However, James Harden is going to put up the usage and put up the shots. He will be owned today if you want to go that direction. It's just a very hard price to pay today. I do think you can get more value if you go down to a guy like Russell Westbrook, has a higher team total. We know what we're going to expect out of Russell Westbrook. He's pretty much averaged a triple-double much of the season. He's coming in at 10-2 today. I think that's a nice pivot away from James Harden today. James Harden's not giving you those triple-double numbers. He's just kind of he is going to give you some statistics that are going to be rebounds and turnovers. I mean, steals and assists and things like that. He's just not getting to the point where he's averaging triple-doubles, etc. So, nonetheless, you're kind of getting that with Russell Westbrook. Stephen Curry's been kind of on fire, so I do like him as well today, and a very nice team total as well. He put up a 76 a couple of games ago, so he's obviously got his shot back. The rust is shaking off, and look out, Jack. He don't care if you're going to guard him with 2 or 3 guys. He's still going to shoot it from half court and make threes. That's just what he does. That's what Stephen Curry's always done, and that's what makes him the player that he is. Very, very exciting player to watch. But guys to like today, first of all for me is Russell Westbrook, 10-2 price. I was at a 55 and a 50 the past couple of games. Coming in today at a 10-2 price on DraftKings, 42.5 projection score. He's coming in at 5% ownership today. He is doing great big things with points per minute, 1.51 points per minute. Let's see the last few against Philadelphia. He's had a 57 last time out against Philadelphia and a 59 also. 45 and a 39 exception, but that, who knows, he could have got hurt in that game. We don't know for sure without that, extensive research, but nonetheless, he's had some big games against them. And he's been really, really good since going over to Washington. So expect much of this more. I don't see anybody on there that's going to really defend him. They are ranking out at 13th in the league against opposing point guards, but don't know who's going to be able to stop him, and I could see it's going to be hard for like a Ben Simmons or somebody like that to stop him. Do like Russell Westbrook today. Another guy to like today is Stephen Curry, as I mentioned. 21st in the league against opposing point guards is the LA Clippers. He's coming in at 9,800 today. He's only coming in at 1% ownership, although I do love Stephen Curry today. He's had a 45, a 76, and a 55 the past 3 games, so I do believe you need to get you some of Stephen Curry today. Trey Young is my next guy. They also have a great total for the Atlanta-Charlotte game. 9,600 today on DraftKings, coming in at 7% ownership. He's averaging 1.48 points per minute, projected for a 48 projection and score. Let's see, last 3 games he's had a 42, a 38, and a 55. He's been really good against Charlotte. 34, a 33, a 43, a 52, and a 62. So love him today as well against Charlotte. Next guy on my list is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has been pretty good in his own right this season. 1.29 points per minute. It's coming in for a 40.9 projection to score. Last 3 games, he's playing in the mid 30-minute mark. So competitive games, he's averaging around 35 minutes a game or so. Last 3 games for fantasy point production, 37, 52, and a 36. Also love him today against Charlotte. A 42, a 42, a 47, a 25, and a 46. So he's been pretty good consistently in that 40-point mark. So so you can give or take, say he's going to average somewhere between that 40 and 50-point mark tonight. Another guy to like today at 8,200 is Darian Fox, and another great total game. 6% projected ownership, 1.16 fantasy points per minute, 36.2 in projection to score. He's also been pretty good. He's also been playing around 35 minutes a game. Last 3 games, a 47, a 36, and a 41. And he's had a 40 and a 33 and a 49 the past 3 games against Chicago. So love that as well. You could target a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, trying to get my English corrected today. But nonetheless, he's 8,000 today on DraftKings. He has been pretty good this season as well, averaging 38. He's projected today at 38.1 projection score, coming in at 6% ownership, 1.18 fantasy points per minute, projected for only 6% ownership. So you're not going to get a lot of ownership on a lot of different guys today, only because it's so many games and so many different ways to go. So this is the bright spot of having so many games, is that you're not going to have higher ownership on people. So 35 and a 9 the past couple of games against Houston, we know better that he's gonna be better than that. But past 3 games he's played this season, 34, 54, and a 58. He's been playing crazy minutes. Played 45 minutes the last game, 41 minutes the game before that, and 36 the game before that. With the injuries that they're having, without Warren, they don't have Jeremy Lamb right now either. So that he's playing soaking up those extra minutes, and doing very well with them. I mean, he's just and he's statistically doing very good. He grabs rebounds, he does get assists, etc., steals. He's a good defensive guy. We all know Houston's bad against point guards, or bad in defense in general. They play defense when they want to. So nice spot tonight for Malcolm Brogdon. I don't really understand the ownership behind John Wall today. 13% ownership. As I said, Indiana is a good defensive team. 13% coming in today for John Wall. I think that's a fade today for me. I don't think you go to John Wall today. I think he's going to struggle against Indiana. I think that'll be one of the tougher matchups he's faced this season. Another guy I think that'll be a tough sell for me today is Shai Alexander. I think he's a tough play today, even though he's coming in at 15% ownership. Not putting the numbers out there yet to consider him. I think he's a little bit overpriced. He's not putting up those great big games. I mean, he is capable. However, he's just not putting up those great big games that you need to see for that kind of price and feel confident in playing him. He's also a fade for me today. Another guy you want to get cheaper in salary today, you could come down and play a guy like Kobe White. I think that's a nice play today. Kobe White had a 43 and 38 the last couple of games. projected for 30.5 points today, coming in at 6% ownership. He is going against Sacramento, 20th in the league against opposing point guards, so I think that's a nice play today. Other guys you can kind of go to, Lonzo Ball, not a bad play going up against Oklahoma City. We know Lonzo Ball is a good defender, or has gotten better with defensive stuff. So, I mean, he's going up against New Orleans, who are 20th in the league against opposing point guards. I think he's a nice play today. He is playing big minutes. He's playing 32, 35, and 38 the last 3 games in minutes. 41, a 30, and a 35 his last 3 games. And it's been pretty good against Oklahoma City, 32, 36, and 41. So he's in that price range. He's also coming in for a projected score of 34.4 today. So I love that play today as well. Another guy that I kind of skipped over, but I would like to mention is Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday's been pretty decent this season. I think he's a considerable play. I do like some other guys a little bit cheaper than him, a little bit better, but some considerable mention for him as well. Another guy that can get hot any time of the day is a guy like Terry Rozier. 32.5 projection score today at $6,300 price. He's only coming in at 3% ownership. We all know Terry Rozier can get hot and go for 50. We've seen him do it already this season. So out of the guards for Charlotte, I think he's a nice play at a cheaper salary of $6,300. Another guy you can kind of pivot with today is Eric Bledsoe. He's on the other side of that New Orleans attack. He's been up and down, but he has been pretty good the past couple games. He is also getting 31, 34 minutes a game. So he's getting nice minutes. He's had a 48 and a 33 the past couple games, so maybe he's blossoming a little bit now, getting used. Some of these guys we're going to take some time to get used to, trying to get gelling with their new teams and things like that. And we know Eric Bledsoe came over and that deal with the Bucks. So with that being said, he's going to need time to gel with the team and all that kind of stuff. So it's not surprising. But he seems like he's getting his groove and all that stuff now. So nice to see that. Another guy to mention is LaMelo Ball. He's getting more and more playing time. He's starting to get big minutes. He's starting to get the same amount of minutes that Terry Rozier and Graham are getting. And they're all kind of time sharing that point guard, small guard, or shooting guard, etc. positions. LaMelo Ball, when he's out there on the floor, he has commanding usage rate. Steals, blocks, assists, rebounds, scoring the ball. I mean, this guy has the potential to blow up for 50 fantasy points a game. If they give him any more time than that, man, I mean, pretty soon, if Graham doesn't find his shot, LaMelo Ball may replace him in the starting lineup. I just don't know. But he may also be one of those guys for this rookie season that might be better off the bench as well. So we'll just have time will tell. But obviously LaMelo Ball is obviously showing his skills and has shown that on full display this season. He is going to project today for 39.9 projection and score. I think he is a great play today at 6,000. Hard to get away from Ball, even with he's getting starter minutes, so it's hard to fade that. And I think he's a great top 5 play today at the point guard position for Charlotte today. He's done 37, 32, 37, 37 the past 3 games, so going to get you somewhere. I think he has a easy floor of 35 points, and I think he has probably a ceiling of like 50 to 60 points. I just think he's really going to go off and shoot out one of these games in the future. Moving on our list, some cheap guys that we can mention. I know I'm taking a little bit more time today, but I want to kind of give you guys a more good with so many games today. Not going to give you the short, shitty version, but try to give you some time and try to show some different places we can go today. Cheap guy that we can mention today, Patrick Beverley. He did have a nice game yesterday. He is capable of having these sometimes. I think I wouldn't expect that with 2 games in a row. He's not going to go out there and give you 49 2 nights in a row. That ownership is going to be extremely high on him today because people are seeing that. They're going to see that $4,000 price, and they're going to jump all over him. He could very well could go out there and give you a fucking 12. So don't get over crazy with Patrick Beverley today thinking he's going to go out there and give you a 49 because although he can, most nights Patrick Beverley is going to give you like somewhere between a a 12 to 24 or something like that. And for $4,000 price, that's not necessarily bad. But if he gives you a 12, you need more than a 12, just to say. So just be careful with Patrick Beverley today. I know a lot of people, obviously, his ownership is high because he's cheap. But I think that's the wrong way to go today. 9 times out of 10, Patrick Beverley's going to go out there and give you a 12. Then he has a 49. So just keep that in mind. I do think today you could play some Pritchard. If Marcus Smart doesn't play today, then obviously we could get some more Pritchard. I think Pritchard's still a nice play. He had a nice day. As you can see, Pritchard's up in price at 4,600, but I still think that's a good play today. He gave you a 37 last game. If he's going to get 32 minutes and he's going to give you that, I think even though I think it's worth the extra 600 to pay over like a Beverly, so to speak. Another guy who can give you some points sometimes is Bogdan Banovich. He had a nice game last game. Could go out there and give you that. Honorable mention for a guy like Elfrid Payton. If Elfrid Payton gets the time, he's been doing pretty good in New York this season. He has had 25, 35, and 28. Another guy who's projected today in that kind of mid-range priced tier. 6,000 is not a ton, but I think I'd rather have LaMelo Ball myself and that at the same price. Mentioned Peyton Pritchard could be a nice play at 4,600. It's a cheaper play. George Hill, I don't like that play today. Not a good matchup for him. And he could very well go out there and give you a 14 or a 9. You need more than that if you're going to pay that price. I think Pritchard's probably a better shot there around that price. Even a Dante DiVincenzo could be a better play at that price. Just kind of looking down the list here. Not a lot of value on the point guards today. Everybody was kind of on Delon Wright the other night, and he didn't really get in until like the third quarter. So I'm going to try to fade him today unless I hear some news that he's going to get some kind of amounts of time today. So nobody else really mentioned outside of that. I think that's pretty much it on the point guard for the situation. Hopefully that was a nice bump there. I mean, you can play Aaron Holiday. That's the only other guy I mentioned, but his fantasy output has been shit this season. Even giving this guy plenty of time to play. His brother plays on the team. You would think that would help with comfortableness or whatnot, but not really. He's been kind of dog shit, so I wouldn't play him. I mean, even T.J. McConnell might be a guy's play if you want to save some salary. Even at that, I could even see an Austin Rivers being a better play at 3,600 if you really want to save some salary underneath, like a Patrick Beverley. Saransky, I seen could be back possibly today, so we'll have to wait and see that news. Jeff Teague possibly could play today. So in theory, if Teague plays today and Smart plays, etc., if them two play, then obviously scratch the Pritchard stuff. But if Jeff Teague is out and Smart plays, you can still play Pritchard. Don't see any reason one of those guys are out. You still can play Pritchard. But that's pretty much it for me today on point guards. I know I spent a lot of time on that. Let's move over to shooting guards. Obviously, Bradley Beal is another guy I like today. He is really high in price, so you just kind of have to watch that price. I don't know if I'm going to get too much Beal today. I'd probably shoot down and play a guy like Levine, maybe even a Jaylen Brown. I don't mind playing that or so, but Bradley Beal's considerable mention today, 43.3 projection score. He's only coming in at 2% ownership. However, he is scoring pretty damn good minutes, pretty good fantasy numbers. 40, a 48, and a 55 the last 3 games. His usage rate is up in the 30s, so that's pretty damn good. He's had a 40, a 49, a 50, a 44, a 60, and a 45 against Philadelphia. So pretty damn strong with those averages and pretty damn strong for potential today. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about guys to roster in the high price range today. He could, obviously, he's coming in at projected 2% ownership, so $2,000 less still than James Harden in that position category, but nonetheless, he could be a nice play today that people are going to be off of him. What happens 9 times out of 10, you're like, shit, I should have played Bill because he just went for 60. That kind of shit happens, so just keep that in kind of mind today. We're going to watch the news on Paul George. He's obviously could be out again today. Me personally, I think he may play today, but we'll just have to wait and see on the injury news. If he doesn't play, obviously we got some bump up from guys like Lou Williams, etc. Lou Williams has kind of been dog shit this season too. Don't really understand what's going on there. I don't think he's been given the minutes that he is used to getting. So I still, you can consider some Lou Williams, but not for me today. Next guy on our list, obviously, Zach Levine. Obviously, 41.4 projection score today. Love the game totals for that game. He's had a 29, a 60, and a 40. He is coming in at 10% ownership today, so he is kind of high salary at 8,300, but deserving of that. He's been really extremely good this season. Also in a great defensive matchup today, 28th in the league against opposing small shooting guards is the Sacramento Kings. So he's in a great position. They can't stop guards. Jaylen Brown, same position, 23 in the league against opposing shooting guards is Miami. He's had a 48, a 36, and a 30 the last 3 games. We're going to start to see that transition where he's been kind of hot for a few games, but we'll start to see Tatum start to retake that role as the team's number 1 guy. I know he's had some hot games, and he's capable every single night, but let's be honest, Tatum is the guy. And I do expect Tatum to be the guy moving forward most nights. Moving down our list here. Not in love with Booker. Need to see more consecutiveness with him. He's just too high priced for me to even go there today. Not necessarily the best spot either against Toronto. He did have a 43 last game, but not touching Booker today. Donovan Mitchell's too inconsistent for me, other than he has a 41 and a 42 the last couple of games. He is really expensive. Off of him today myself. Colin Sexton could be a guy who can go off. He's projected for 30.6 points today, 8% ownership. Still not my favorite play here today. Victor Oladipo, like I said, Houston doesn't play defense. He's been returning back to that Victor Oladipo form that we're used to seeing every season. He's been hurt past couple seasons, so going up a nice matchup today against Houston. $7,000 is not that bad of a price to pay. However, I do like RJ Barrett a little bit more myself. He's going to play more minutes. Even though Victor's playing a lot of minutes, we know RJ Barrett's is going to get those minutes. We just seen Utah get smacked yesterday by pretty much the third side of the bench by the Nets yesterday. So RJ Barrett's going to be out there. This is kind of the thing with RJ Barrett. If his shot's falling, he's already going to give you those steals. He's going to get rebounds. He may get a couple blocks or a block here and there. He's going to get assists. He's going to, if his shot's falling, this guy can explode for 60, 70 damn fantasy points. The problem is his shot is very inconsistent. So just keep that in mind with RJ Barrett, but I do like him today. Another guy who's been kind of on fire the past couple of games is Terrence Ross. He did gain some ownership a couple different times, but that's with Fournier being out. But I do think he'll cool today against a little bit tougher matchup with Cleveland today. Another guy to kind of watch out for is Seth Curry, $5,400 in price. He is getting inconsistent minutes, 24, 24, and a 34-minute game. So just something to keep in mind. I don't love his projection. Not crazy about some of these guys. We'll mention like a guy like Denzel Valentine if Sanderaski and all them kind of guys are out again today. I do think he's deserving of some ownership. 25, 16, and 15. 20, 15, and 19 minutes the last 3 games. He is only $3,100. So I think, in theory, those guys are out. You're going to pay $4,000. You may pay $4,000 for Patrick Beverley and get a 12. You take Denzel Valentine for a $900 discount, and he gets you a 25. I mean, just saying that's an option to go with today at a cheaper salary. Buddy Hield, another guy to consider in a better matchup today against Chicago. Not consistent, but I do like the play. Um, Looks like Fournier may be back today, so we'll have to pay attention to that news. If he does play, I still don't like him. Just inconsistent. Another guy who could have a nice day again, who's been popular. He's only coming in. He's not even coming in at 1% ownership today. Is Cam Reddish? He's been really good and consistent. Averaging for 20.4 today in points projection. Less than 1% ownership. 31, 23, and 30 minutes the last 3 games. He's had a 25 and a 7 and 17 in the last 3 games. So he has some better games before that. So I think, in theory, he should be better against the Hornets and should be able to get those typical rebounds, assists, blocks, etc. that he does, and he will score the ball some. So some consideration for him. Another guy you can take a stab with who's getting decent minutes is Danny Green. 28 and 23 the last couple games. 18, 25, and 22 minutes the last 3 games. So coming in at only 16.5 projection today, but still at $3,800, it's not a bad value play. I still love that better than Danny Green. Than Lou Williams and Patrick Beverly, myself. Just kind of looking down. Wayne Ellington did start last game for Detroit, so pay attention to that. See if he starts again. He can get hot, but most of the time he's going to give you a 5. I know he got a 25 last game, but most of the time he's going to give you a 5. Pay attention to Cleveland news. See if any of those guys are going to. Any of those guys will sit today. Dotson obviously could be a nice play off the bench at only 4,200, or he could start. Nonetheless. So we saw C.D. Osman have a nice game last game. So keep an eye on that news. Not really anybody else to like in shooting guard position today. Then again, you can play one of those point guards that you like over that are shooting guard viable over here as well. Moving on to small forwards that we like today. Obviously, Tatum should be in a decent spot today. Not in love with the price. I probably would prefer to play some other guys at that position today. Although Tatum's usage is extremely high and he should be very good. He is viable today. Just not my favorite spot personally for Tatum. He could get you there, but I don't know that I see a 50, 60 point outcome from them guys today. I think that total probably be a little bit lower than that. So not one of my favorite plays today at that price tag. Ben Simmons, I've already mentioned him. You can play him in the small forward position there. Not my favorite spot for Brandon Ingram today. He will gain you some ownership, but I think you can find some stuff that are cheaper. Chris Middleton, nice spot today against Detroit. This could be a blowout game, so just understand that risk. He is coming in at 17% projected ownership. 38.6 projection to score today, 1.31 fantasy points per minute. Last 3 games has had a 31, a 34, and a 34. That's not going to do it for me for a $7,500 price. So I'm just going to keep on moving. Gordon Hayward, man. He's one of those guys that can give you a crazy night output. Going against Atlanta, who's not a great defensive team against his position. He's had a 47 and 35 the past couple games. Projected for 33.1 projection to score today. Coming in at 7% ownership. Against Atlanta, he's at a 30 and a 44. Extremely high usage. 27, 38, and 32 minutes the last 3 games. So I do like Gordon Hayward today. Another guy who's kind of stepped it up is Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant has been reborn this season. $6,900 in price. He's had a 32 of 35 and a 43. Average over the past 3 games. He's coming in a projection score today of 33. I don't mind that at that price. He's actually a little bit cheaper than he should be, probably. Deandre Hunter is another one of those Atlanta guys that's going to play a lot of minutes. He's going to do everything on the floor. He's going to give you rebounds, assists, blocks, score the ball some, etc. He can get some putbacks. Only $5,400 in price. He's had a 34, 32, and a 38 in the last 3 games. He's been really consistent. 29.4 projection and score. I think in this price range, this is probably the best value you're going to find today on the slate at this position. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard's another guy to like today, coming in today at 9,100, but I do like him over Tatum. This game also has a nice total on it today, so 26 in the league against opposing small forwards. Golden State is, he's at a 62 of 30 and a 57 the past 3 games. High usage, high minutes guy. He's going to give you 1.40 fantasy points per minute. Love Kawhi Leonard today. If you're going to play up at the small forward position, I think he's the guy to go with today. Looking around the list here, if we can find, if C.D. Osman starts again today, I do think he's considerable mention. He is going to have decent usage rate. He played 38 minutes last game, so if those guys are still dealing with injuries today, I think you can consider a guy like C.D. Osman. He's still not overly priced, only 5,500 today. Another guy you can play with today, kind of Nick Bynum. He's kind of been reborn as well. Had a 41 last game. He's playing 30 in the 30s size minutes. Projected for only 7.4 points, but I do think Nick Bynum is going to average. He's averaging way better than that this season. He's going to give you probably a floor of, I don't know, let's go with 20 points a game, maybe 25, maybe. That's 25 is a little high. I think 15 to 20 is probably floor based, and obviously can give you a ceiling of like 45 maybe, but you're going to see him in that 20 to 30 mark most of the time, I think, given his team and what he's doing over there this season. Another guy that's mentioned is getting a lot of minutes if he plays tonight. Reggie Bullock's been getting a lot of minutes with New York. Not going to give you, doesn't have a very high ceiling, but has a mediocre floor. He's going to give you a 10 to 20 for a floor. Honestly, 30 might be his ceiling, to be honest. Not my favorite play today, especially at that price at 4,200. A little bit more pricey. I think I like him more around that 3,500 price range. It's another guy pissed and shit all over my lineup the other night. I think with everybody else's Bay. As you can see, nobody's going to be on him today, and watch him go for 30. Looking at the list, guys, there's not a lot left to love for value. So we're going to skip over and hit our 4 for our power forward position. Giannis is really expensive today, but for good reason. He's had over a 60 the past 3 games. It's hard to fade that. I know he's not in the brightest spot, but I love Giannis. I always love Giannis every slate. Just a lock and load if you want to pay that price for him, if you can get to it. I think Giannis is a play, obviously. I'm not even going to go into details with Giannis. You know Giannis. You know how good he is. Exceptional player. Unbelievable talent. This unearthly how this guy's built. Just as a player individually. I mean, 7 foot. Just nuts, man. Another guy just like Kevin Durant, just unreal. That attributes for a guy like that. Another guy I really like today, Sabonis. He's been really good this season. I think today he's in a plus matchup against Houston. Obviously, Houston could be without a couple of guys today, so this could be even a stronger. We may even see a situation where Houston's in a blowout, where Indiana's just stomping the shit out of them. So just keep that in mind today. I think there's some blowout risk there with, especially if Houston's missing a couple guys today. Next guy on my list, John Collins. John Collins has been decent. I just don't love that price. 7,200. I think he's more of like the 66 to 65 range guy. I think Capella's just taking a lot of that, a lot of that star power away from him because he's not getting all the rebounds. He's not getting all this, all the potential stats that he can normally get when he didn't have Capella there. And Capella's going to steal some of that bright side of stats away from him. So 17% ownership is really high to me for Collins. I don't like that matchup I mean, I like the matchup. I just don't like the potential there. I think I'd rather take a guy like Hunter for way cheaper. It's going to give you around the same. Thaddeus Young, another guy to mention today. He's been getting considerable minutes again. $4,600 in price. I think that's a nice price to pay today for a guy like Thaddeus Young, where you need to find some salary relief. Another guy, if he gets to start today, I love Kelly Olynyk. He absolutely did a great job the other night. He's only not that high priced, $4,400. Could get the start again today, coming in 18% ownership. But hey, I'll take that chalk all day. This guy is pretty damn good. Getting rebounds, he gets rebounds, assists. He will get you a steal here and there, a block here and there, and will score the ball. Pretty damn good. He's had 29, 28, and 27 minutes the past 3 games, so very consistent at that price. And also he's at 33, 24, and at 32 the past 3 games. Not been that great against Boston, but primarily because he wasn't getting the playing time. This guy is a decent, good player. He's just not always been given the opportunities. Another guy that can shine today for New Orleans is my man Zion Williamson. I am a big Duke fan, and I love Zion. So happy for this guy, and just love his character and who he is as a person. $7,800 is not too bad to pay for a Zion Williamson. This guy has a high usage rate. He's just going to be energetic guy. He's going to be out there all the time, doing just always in the mix of trying to, on the defensive side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball, he is just involved. But 29, 25%, and a 30% usage rate in the past 3 games, just pretty damn good. 1.15 fantasy points per minute. 18, a 32, and a 44 the past 3 games. Love Zion today. Think that's a nice price to pay for him. I like that play a lot more than I do like a John Collins or such like that. Not in love with power forward today. I think it's just a tough position today. Guy like Marvin Bagley, 5,200. I just not getting there for me. I'm a Duke fan, but not Marvin Bagley's just got a. He's not getting as many minutes as I'd like to see him get. But generally, in these prices, you want to find guys who are going to have consistent minutes, consistent scores. You don't want guys who are up and down. Those are more GPPs. They're playing cash, double ups, single entries, things like that. I think having guys that are more consistent on a regular basis is the guys I like the most. If we do have injuries today to Houston, a guy like Tate could see exceptional more playing time today. So keep that in mind today, especially even with a blowout. But even not blowout potential, if they have, look like I think House is out today, could have Wood out today, and potentially one more maybe. I can't remember if it was another guy or not. But with those guys out, Tate could see a lot more playing time today. So just keep that in mind at 3,600. He has already been putting up 20, 20, and 24 minutes, around 22 minutes a game. So he could see that move up to the 30-minute mark today if without those guys playing. Not in love with the rest of these guys, to be honest with you. Just not. All right, we're going to shoot over to our center position. I won't try to keep you guys too long. I'm sorry the video is long today. I just want to give you guys a more in-depth thing here. Jibril Embiid, obviously, Washington's going to have a tough time stopping this guy. I could see a potential like a Bryant getting in foul trouble, trying to deal with Embiid today. But I do think this game stays competitive. I love Embiid today. I think he's a great play at center. 40, 46, and 45 past 3 games. 9,900 today, but I think for me the obvious play for me was just to pay $1,000 more and get Giannis. But at center, if you want to play an Embiid, I don't see a problem with that. Love the potential there with him today. Another guy that's going to have a hard time today is probably Drummond. He could get in foul trouble today trying to defend Jokic. So this is another guy to keep your eye on today. Not in love with either one of those guys, but I don't understand the big ownership behind Drummond today projection. 2,400. I don't really understand that, but I'll say that for another time. A guy I can get behind today is Rudy Gobert. 29, 39, and 34 last 3 games. Going up against New York, Mitchell Robinson may have trouble keeping himself out of foul trouble today against the Rudy Gobert. Love him today. Usage rate's pretty good, 36.4 projection score as well. Another guy you can get behind today going against Charlotte, who is not ever good against bigs because they don't have your fucking big guy to deal with opposing centers. But Capella should have a field day today, $6,700 in price, 33.9 projection and score. He's playing consecutive 30 minutes. He's getting the minutes now. He's not on restriction anymore. 36 of 46 and 31 of past 3 games. Love him today. Also could love a guy like Miles Turner. I know he's not flashy, and I know Sabonis steals a lot of that action from him, but don't mind a Miles Turner today at 6,300. 28.2 projection score. He's had a 36, 25, and 28 past 3 games. So, mediocre, but nonetheless, don't mind him today. Another guy you can get with today is Wendell Carter Jr., another Duke boy. Don't love the minute share for him because he's only getting like around 24 minutes a game. But going against Sacramento, they're only 22nd in the league against opposing centers, so it could be a nice spot for him today. Looking down the list here to see who else could be in consideration. Ayton not in a great spot today against Toronto. Bryant could be in foul trouble against Embiid. Larry Nance should have a not such a great day today. Not crazy about Blake Griffin. Steven Adams could be a nice play today at 6,200. He has been pretty consistent. 27.8 projection and score today. Playing around 31 minutes a game. 35, 31, and 24 the past couple games. Another guy who's been really good in good spots and should be in another good spot today against Chicago. 30th in the league against opposing centers is Richaun Holmes. 25.2 projection and score. He's playing around. I know that last game was kind of a blowout, I believe. So, or either that, or no, he was in foul trouble, I believe. But nonetheless, 48, 26, and a 9. Should have a better day today, I think. Serge Ibaka is another guy that could be potentially a good play today at 5,700. Projection for 26.3. Projection and score. Mitchell Robinson is one of those guys, man. We kind of seen it yesterday with Jared Allen. So, I mean, I don't know whether he'll be in foul trouble dealing with Gobert. But we just saw Jared Allen grab like 15 points, 15 boards yesterday. So, not going to say that I don't like the play of Mitchell Robinson because he could come out there and beast mode him. So, I'm not going to say don't play him. He is valuable today. I just worry about the foul trouble with him. He has a history of being bad at fouling people. He's been pretty good about not doing it this season, so I'll give him credit. So you could play that. Biyombo against Atlanta. He's going to be out there generally around 30 minutes a game. Only 19.7 projection score today, but I think he can do better than that score. So I like the play of a Biyombo if you want to play a cheap center today. Zubek is not getting the minutes for me that I like. Now, if Wood is out today, you could see DeMarcus Cousins start. So keep an eye on the injury news. It's not the greatest matchup in the world. Could see Cousins get frustrated and start clocking people and foul the fuck out of the game in 2 minutes. Who knows? We don't know. But don't mind the play of DeMarcus Cousins at a $4,300 price if he's going to start. Only if he starts for me, though. JaVale McGee has been kind of just doing his thing, man. He comes in there and does his thing. He's had a 25 and 36 and an 8 the past 3 games, but the 2 games before the last game, he's really, really been pretty good. So just one of them guys in blowout potential, or Drummond gets in foul trouble. This guy's going to come in the game, and he has value because he can get you 10 rebounds in 4 minutes. So just something to keep in mind. Brook Lopez, never a bad option. Because he's always cheap. He's going to get pretty consistent minutes. He's going to give you around a floor of 15, but has a ceiling of like a 50 or 40 or 50. So he could get hot any given moment and put up there for you. So $4,200, I don't mind the play of a Brook Lopez. Save you some salary. Looks like Noel may be out today, so keep in mind with those backup centers. If you're New York today, they could be valuable in play as well if Mitchell gets in trouble and he doesn't play. But that's pretty much it, guys. I think that wraps it up for us. You could take a stab with Aaron Baines if you want to. I don't recommend that, but not my favorite play in the world. But that's the video, guys. Sorry it was pretty much in length, but I know we're getting close to, we're about 3 or 4 hours away from lock, and I want to give you guys an extensive kind of look today and show you what I'm kind of looking at for today. Hope this helps so much, guys. I appreciate all you guys turning into the videos daily. I appreciate that so much, and I'm very, very thankful for that. Again, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button as well, guys. If you'll hit that like button for me. Don't forget about Draft Dashboard. It'll be in the description of the video. You can click that link, get yourself started. 30 days for only $1. Pretty much, that's pretty close to risk-free. In my opinion, you're not going to find a better deal than that, and nowhere in DFS. And then I will also link my Twitter, as always, down there in the description of the video as well. Give me a follow over there if you guys aren't doing so already. All right, guys, that's the video, man. Best of luck tonight. Hope you guys win tons of money. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.